Laughter is absolutely good for your brain.
There's room for more humor, I think, and maybe not taking humor so seriously.
My name is Mike Wahl, and I'm passionate about exploring health. Come on a journey with me across Newfoundland and Labrador as we learn about wellness here at home. We've all heard the saying that laughter is the best medicine. We feel good when we laugh, and sometimes we actually feel it physically after a good chuckle. But how deep does this go? Is laughter studied like other forms of health? And is there a correlation between healthy living and laughter? Well, it turns out there are people that study laughter, specifically its impact on the brain.
There are multiple studies on the effects of laughter on the brain. Laughter is the feel-good medicine. So when you laugh and enjoy comedy, you have a release of endorphins. It affects your chemicals in your brain, activates the nervous system such that stimulates neuroplasticity, neurons. So all of that's it's good for brain health.
So when you're looking at things, because a lot of what you do is you actually look at the brain, what happens to us when we start to laugh?
Well, the movement, you have to think about the movement of laughter, ha-ha. The mouth moves, the throat moves. So of course the motor cortex, which is a little strip on the side of your brain, that will light up because it controls the motor movement. But that's not really what you mean. Mm-hmm. When you feel laugh, an infectious laugh, you should see activation of emotional parts of your brain, the executive function, the thinking parts of your brain. So if laughter is truly infectious, it should not just be the motor systems, it's the entire system should light up.
So really, laughter is good for us?
Laughter is absolutely good for your brain.
So we can actually measure this today, right? We can do an experiment?
We absolutely can. We use a technique called functional near-infrared spectroscopy. It's a mouthful, but we say FNIRS. And you use a cap, you place it on your head, and there's little lights called optodes. And they measure the oxygen in the blood in your brain. So when you use that section of your brain, we should see the map light up to tell us that there's activity there.
Right.
So theoretically, we can test whether laughter is just the motor movement of laughter or if it actually excites all the emotion and cognitive aspects of the brain. But you have to be funny.
Right. I was kind of afraid you were going to say that because I'm not that funny, but I did call some buddies who are hilarious that are going to join us today, and I think that they just got here, actually. In order to get the results we were looking for, we needed a test subject to tell some jokes, and I knew it wasn't going to be me. It just so happens I know some pretty best kind guys that are good at comedy. And it turns out that not only is Colin a great comedian, but he's also a really good guinea pig. We hooked Colin up to the FNIR machine, and right away we could see that when he laughs, his brain went bright red. Now when it was green, it meant the brain was at rest. All that was left now was to see if we could light him up, and I went first. Okay, ready? What's brown and sticky?
A brown stick.
Yes. That was my best one.
All right, so
Brown stick.
being told to not laugh is way harder. It's so hard to not laugh when you're told not to laugh, you know what I mean?
Your parents are going to be so proud when they see you. Well, G-Rye Marie. G-Rye, look at this. Look at him, huh?
That was a full one.
Try again, Brian.
Got him. It was almost as though laughter was contagious. Now I'm sure all of our brains were lighting up, but I'm glad Brian and Mike were there to help keep Colin laughing. Some of my jokes fell flat, but they were saved by the guys. Why do melons have to have weddings? Because they cantaloupe.
Oh, shit! Oh,
He went there.
74 jelly beans.
Oh man, it's too stupid.
My face hurts right now. It's like a burn in my cheeks. Okay, so being funny and being on stage and making people laugh is good for them, but like, what do you guys get out of it?
our brain probably lights up like that, I'm sure, when we're on stage. It's pretty awesome.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All that laughter coming your way.
Yeah.
Then you're laughing with them.
Yeah.
Everyone's brain looks like mine, if you can believe it.
So most of my jokes fell flat, but before long we all found ourselves laughing, which was really the whole point. I learned that laughter isn't just about telling jokes, it's about having a sense of humor. It wasn't what they said, but how they said it. It turns out being funny goes a lot deeper than I expected.
Why did Alec G. Henley care so much about the financial well-being of his friends and neighbours? Why did he spend his days travelling on foot and by coastal boats to teach hard-working folks how to plan and protect, to invest in their futures? Alec's family believed that the best way to weather uncertainty was to help friends and neighbours. Over 75 years later, with a history of independence, Alec G. Henley lives on. In the trusted advice we give, the freedom we grow with you.
It's time to change how we view healthcare. We're leading the charge in global medtech innovation, saving lives, bringing millions in investments, and creating hundreds of jobs right here in Newfoundland and Labrador. Want to get involved? Visit bounceinnovation.ca.
Hi, I'm Sarah Cole with Hickman Select, and at Hickman Select we offer all makes and models. We even have as-traded pieces priced under $15,000. We also deliver anywhere in Newfoundland, including Labrador. Visit us at hickmanselect.ca.
So it's no surprise that the Best Kind comedy guys basically broke the brain scanner. Just being in the room with them, I couldn't stop laughing. So are some people just born funny, or can it be learned? And how does that lead to a career in comedy? When it comes to comedy in Canada, Newfoundland abounds. We are everywhere in comedy, right?
Yes, but Canadians are funny. Let's not forget that.
Okay, yeah.
It's like, it's like Come From Away. It's like the guy in Gander said, what did they think we were going to do? Let him starve to death? Yeah. And then no Newfoundlander would ever make a musical about that because it just seems so normal. And when you think about it, when the Blitz was happening in Great Britain, even when they had that dark thing in Toronto, everybody came together. That's human nature. And I don't know if we are just a little bit more human. Maybe we are, maybe we aren't. Maybe we're just like everyone else. But I know that in Toronto, humor is not seen as worth anything, really. You know what I mean? It isn't. Like, if you're funny, who cares? It's not. But with Newfoundlanders, the people who got all the attention and all the food and got to sleep inside and everything were funny, right? So you knew that it was like coin of the realm. It was something you had to develop. And actually, when I got in Codco, I'm pretty well the least funny person in my family, like everybody in my family does the, what's wrong with you, boy, Mike? I'm only giving you a hard time. And to which my response would be, well, that is what is wrong with me, I guess. You are giving me a hard time and I can't take it. So I was always I'm like a bear, baited. And that's not, you're supposed to be much cooler than that, right? You're supposed to be able to dish it out and take it. I can dish it out, but cannot, in fact, take it.
You probably got good at reflexively giving it back because you did become extremely funny. You've had a really interesting career. You've done lots of different things. What are some of the highlights that you've had, as you've gone along?
A lady said to me the other day, in my darkest time, I just watch, your stuff, and it makes me be able to get through it. I thought, oh my God, because I'm still out there fighting to get in, what I mean? And I possibly should maybe turn the page on that and be all right.
When you think about some of the things that you were really funny in, a lot of those embraced the culture here, and that's been the case for a lot of other comedians and people from here. How does the Newfoundland culture why is it so funny? When we talk about the things that happen to us day to day here.
I think that people are brought up in that way with the notion that you're supposed to see the funny side of things. Because comedians got this little thing in their head where they see the funny side of things, right? And it's like you can't learn it. It just is. And we seem to, as a culture, have that.
Do you think having that in our head helps us when we're in those states when we are maybe down, and then we turn on comedy and we see it, and then it resonates with us and brings us out of that? Do you think that's the mechanism?
I do. Certainly for me, that works for sure. But sometimes you need a little respite from your feelings, right? Sometimes your feelings are too deep and too overwhelming. And comedy, you know, having that little thing in your head or being part of a culture where comedy is not seen as something that could just be thrown away, but it is something that is, you know, held high, and people, you know, have a lot of respect for it and a lot of time for it. So it's nice to be part of that, you know?
If somebody wants to add more humor into their life and they just aren't, like, you're amazing what you do, you're hilarious, you've probably been funny your whole life and been involved in sort of like being in the mix, but if it's good for people, then how can they add it into their life?
I was severely depressed, situationally depressed, because someone broke up with me. It was really horrible. This was a long time ago. But I couldn't watch anything on TV because everything had emotion in it. And it was just like I would just be crying all the time. And I could only watch Fawlty Towers because it is just funny, and maybe it isn't politically correct, but there are shows out there like Fawlty Towers that are just funny, and if you need a lift, you know, like, or you could watch Monty Python, some of them, the best of them, like The Dead Parrot. Like, there's no emotional involvement. You're not going to get caught up thinking, oh, look at them, they're so happy, and I'm so miserable. It's just funny, right? And they just bring that humor to you, and it helps. It really helps. You know, there's room for more humor, I think, and maybe not taking humor so seriously. I mean, it's put out there to entertain, to open up to another point of view, and it isn't necessarily your point of view, but there's lots of good comedy out there that you can get a real good laugh out of. There's so many ways that laughter opens you up to the world, and that's what we are all looking for, really.
You know, correct me if I'm wrong, but all things that are funny do have that element of truth.
Oh, absolutely. They have to, or else they're not funny. I mean, they're, you know, even the slipping on the banana peel, that has an element of truth. Someone else is slipping on the banana peel, you aren't, therefore very funny. And he looks all, and you're just relieved that it's not you, plus, oh my God, look at that. You know what I mean? There's an element of truth. Watching somebody else fall is always gleeful for us, not too bad, but you know, a little. And so there's always an element of truth. And so if we can just take what tickles us, what amuses us, what lifts us up, and leave all the rest of it behind, like take what you need and leave the rest, I guess.
I don't have the time.
I wish I had more energy.
Where do I even start?
All right, guys, that's enough. Let's get back to it. Let's go, guys. Got this. 5, 4. Couple more. 3, 2, 1. Break.
Start where you are. This is your wellness journey.
To meet demand for a high-quality supply of the best seafood on the planet, Quinlan is always investing and innovating in new ways to lead the industry. It's Quinlan Quality.
At Pure and Simple, we believe in 3 things: surrounding ourselves with good people, providing a welcoming environment to all, and delivering quality food with the freshest ingredients. It's that simple.
Mary's advice that we shouldn't take things too seriously is something we could all benefit from. Now I've talked to a lot of people that made me laugh, and I need to know if there's hope that one day I could have that impact on others. I need to seek out the master for guidance, although he can be tough to track down.
Sweet Om.
Hey man, what's up?
Mike Wahl. Wow. How did you find me?
It took a while. You're a hard guy to track down, man.
Yeah, I was just saying the name of my glamping business over and over again to try to make myself feel better about it. You know what I mean? It's good. It works.
Well, it's a great spot, man. Look, it's beautiful here.
Isn't it?
Yeah, so we're in Burlington.
Burlington, on the rocks that I grew up as a young little tyke runner. Literally, these are the oldest rocks in probably North America, and it was where I was the youngest rock running around here. My very first experiences with like getting that, rural Burlington experience.
Well, I was gonna say it's pretty small town vibes around here, but it seems like
the majority of people in Newfoundland, I've been to weddings before where somebody gets a scripted out speech and like they're like trying to be funny and then it fall flat because they're not from there. But then somebody gets others from the family and just is funny. Like what makes something funny and why are we able to capture that?
Well, I think Newfoundland's perspective, people from Newfoundland, their perspective due to, you know, back in the day with economic hardships, you know, kind of always been the runt of the litter according to Canadian kind of culture back in the day, no longer. But, you know, I think in the 80s and 70s and 80s, there seemed to be that perspective with the Newfie joke and all that, you know. So there's always been a self-deprecating kind of perspective, but we've always been able to go, no. We are not that. Yeah. And through our humor, you will see that we're actually some of the smartest people in the country. We don't take ourselves too seriously. We know the value of laughter. Yeah. And the value of laughter is not something that's conscious. It is what it is. You go around any dinner table, and I mean dinner. I don't mean lunch. I mean dinner. Dinner table, not supper. Yeah. You go around any of those tables, and you have family. If they're not in a fight, that even when they are in a fight, they are cracking wise and tearing each other apart in the funniest way possible. Yeah. Man. And it's so awesome. And there's a bit of a survival thing going on with that. You know, the use of humor amongst people in rural communities and obviously St. John's as well. But you know what I mean? I feel like it's just the way people breathe. People breathe that perspective.
How do you think humor impacts? Like, what do you get out of it when you're on stage and making people laugh? What do you think people who are watching your shows get out of it as well?
Well, I think, you know, the act of laughter, that unconscious thing that happens, that to aliens, if aliens came and saw, would be like, uh-oh, that person is sick. There's something bad. Because think about what it is. Like, look at you. You're kind of like, you're making this funny noise. Yeah. You know, your face changes, it distorts, and you shake a little. Like, that's like, oh my gosh, are you okay? What's wrong with you? Right? It's such a strange thing that we have as human beings that sets us apart. And this is an internet, you know, this is like a universal thing. But clearly, clinical studies have shown that it has such a positive impact on your health. But I find that humor, you know, given the last 2 years that we've had, and even still, you know, there's still pockets of it, but humor really is challenged by stress. You know what I mean? And to be able to have a perspective that allows you to access laughter inside of yourself. When, you know, you don't know when you're going to be able to see your family again. You don't know when the job is coming. You don't know if I'm going to be able to get out and work. You don't know when you hear someone cough next to you at an airport, is that going to kill me? I mean, you know, we've had these things happen to us. And, you know, I find for me as somebody who has always been able to laugh, the last 2 years have been challenging to be able to laugh and find ways to find that perspective. So unless I'm feeling positive and unless I'm feeling grounded and unless I'm feeling not stressed, humor is hard to come by. Coming back here can be incredibly de-stressing, but it can also raise the stress levels too, because I just got back, for example, you leave your house over the winter. And this spring when I came back, one of the water pipes was busted in my house.
Slightly stressful?
Very stressful. Now what am I going to do? So I was only left to go to one place. I've got another place that I go to that I don't tell a lot of people about. Okay. But it's my cabins. I got these cabins that are a little further away. And if you want to de-stress, Mike, are you feeling like you need to?
I think so.
Well, you're going to need a sense of humor for the ride out there anyways.
Sounds good.
You got it?
I trust you, I suppose.
Trust me. We're going to go out, and that's going to be the real de-stressor.
Okay. Perfect. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Which way?
You got a helmet?
Sure.
Do you have insurance? Life insurance?
Yeah.
How do you feel about, is your spine intact?
Not really, actually.
You got any loose bones? You got any?
A few of them too, yeah.
Either way, we'll strap it down.
Being down on the beach in Burlington definitely takes away the stress of day-to-day life. But for Shaun's idea of a getaway, we had to go a little further.
So yeah, you got any dentures in your mouth?
Not
Did it fall
dentures.
out?
No dentures. But
Okay.
loose bones.
How's
for
your
sure.
sphincter?
I don't.
Tight?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you been doing your Kegel exercises?
I have been doing my Kegels. Yeah.
Okay, well that's good.
Lots of core work.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna need it on this trip.
Okay.
Very relaxing.
That sounds
it already. This is the new road, by the way. This is nice. Woo! All right. Woo! We got this. That was easy. We got this. We got this, baby. Oh! This is the worst right here. Yeah, we're never coming out of this. Oh, can we make it? Oh! This is a de-stressor, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Feel good. No way. Oh. This is how you gotta live your life, baby. This ignites your sense of humor. Especially when we get stuck. Stuck. Hike back. Don't use that word, dude. Trust in the process, baby. I'm trusting. Trust the process. The stress is gone, man. Is that poop I smell? Feeling that?
Yeah, I'm feeling it.
You feeling it?
Feel my heartbeat after that.
Feel relaxed now?
No. You almost killed me.
But look, we're laughing.
I know.
We're laughing.
True,
We
man.
found the
That's
humor.
true. Yeah, you're right, man.
Right?
That's
We
true.
did it. We
Yeah,
did
it's
it,
good,
baby.
Man. No, it's perfect. This is gorgeous, man.
This is like the place to be. And I need this for my own personal self. Like, you know, no matter what or where I am in the world, you know, and I get to come back here from a stress level perspective.
Yeah.
Yes, that road can be a little bumpy. And yes, even when I'm bringing the family out, it can be really stressful.
Yeah.
But once you get here and you just listen. We have a sound machine that we put our babies to sleep.
Yeah.
It's this sound for relaxation. So this place is a place that allows me to totally decompress, open up all my channels to positivity and optimism, and then I can get back to trying to be funny if that's what my next thing is.
It is really relaxing out here.
Isn't it?
I trusted you on the drive, by the way.
I don't think you did.
A little bit.
No, I don't think you did. You were pinching my leg, and I was grabbing me, and you were asking your crew to get you out of there.
I don't remember
There's a lot of stuff you didn't see.
I didn't remember any of
Listen,
that.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to take this even up another notch if you want to.
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
Just a little exercise. Something that's going to make you feel even better than you ever had before.
I'm up.
A little thing called laugh yoga. You ever heard of it?
No, man.
Let's go. Let's
What?
do it.
All right.
You feel it?
My belly,
Right,
yeah.
put all your air in your belly. Okay, now take a deep breath in, and then raise your arms up high over your head. Ready? Deep breath in, high up, and then let it out. Ready? Ah! Shake your body. Ah! Shake your body like you're evil. Okay, ready? Deep breath in.
Okay.
Ready? Bend over. Ready? Deep in.
It turns out laughter can improve our health and be a cure for stress in our day-to-day lives. You don't have to be funny to laugh with your friends and family. You just have to be around positive people and keep an open mind. So if you're looking for a new remedy, it turns out laughter might just be the best medicine.
One more time. Ready? Ah! See, you got it. You got it.
I got it, dude.
We did it. You feel better?
I feel better, man.
Great.
Yeah. Give me a ride back, and then I won't feel better.